Hello, good members. Master 1000. Welcome back to an episode of Onimusha 3. So today we're doing a bit of a cold opening because I wanted to show you guys what's the critical hit training involved. So in order to get the Black Vest, I need to complete the critical hit training, and it's always really difficult. So works better when sidestepping an attack. Okay. So we got to get through the beginner, the intermediate, and the advanced portion of the critical hit training in order to actually... Ow, that's really loud. Okay, enemies can only be fed by critical hits to destroy enemies. I feel like I'm not supposed to be charging here. Alright, attack me. You can attack me. Brother. He's just standing there, menacingly. Do something! I need you to attack in order to complete the frickin' critical hit training. Brother, I hate this guy. He's the worst. Do something, my guy, please. Okay, it's clearly not supposed to be doing the charge thing, so let me take a look at my... control settings real quick, and let me see what the frick is going on. Yeah, no, that's how the controls are configured, so... I guess it's just a skill issue, honestly. So, I think it might be a little bit easier to do the critical hitting Seminosuke, but... yeah, that's pretty much what that's all about. I gotta complete that. I'll probably end up doing it on my own time, but it's gonna be difficult completing those critical hits. So, yeah. Hello, good members. Game Master 1000. Welcome back to an episode of Onimusha 3. Today we are at Mount Biwa, or Lake Biwa, and we're gonna go forward to find the mythical Oni army. I'm gonna take a sip of my soda real quick. Ah, tasty. It's Dr. Pepper, if you guys are wondering. So in the last episode, this stuff is really loud in my ears. Hang on 1 second. Okay, it was very loud for a second there, but I'm gonna change this so it's not so loud anymore. My computer's like very weird like that. Alright, so we're in a frozen wasteland. We gotta find our way across the lake. And we have to get to the keep that I forget her name, but friggin' the fiance lady to Nobunaga. So we gotta make our way there, and hopefully we'll be able to do some pretty cool stuff. I definitely want to do the critical hit mode on Seminosuke. I think it'll be easier because I can do it for either of them. Oh, I have to. Okay, that'll break if I'm not careful. Got it. Was not aware. But I think we made it across anyway, so... Alright. Alright, pretty sick. Oh, there's a box over there for Akko to get. Get it, Akko.
Right there.
Grab it, Akko. Akko, get it. There we go. Okay.
Here, Josh.
There we go. Medicine. Okay, so, well, there are these guys again. Uh-oh. Well. Gotta defeat this guy quickly before he ends up bringing this whole thing down. These episodes might be a little bit shorter, I'm not entirely certain, but I know we're at the end of the game. Like, we're approaching the end. I believe after this, it's just like 2 more. Because after we get the Oni army, we're essentially gonna get on our way to I think it's not Mount Hiei, but we're gonna be on our way to defeating Nobunaga and get back to the where Semenosuke was in the beginning of the game. Oh well, that sucks. Man, this is gonna stink. If Semenosuke can't bring those guys down, it's gonna be like mega bad for us. Because we definitely don't want these friggin' things to... There we go. We definitely don't want these things to end up, crashing. Because if they do, we're pretty much dead. But that's it. That's all she wrote. Speaking of all she wrote, I don't know if any one of any viewers here care, but tomorrow in Master Duel we're getting Yu-Gi-Oh cards called Tearlament. And they're responsible for a not very fun meta in the TCG that was just ended a couple months ago. What the heck is over there? I want that thing. There's gotta be a way to get it. Or is that an area that I was supposed to get before earlier? Medicine. Okay, I'm clearly supposed to get over there, right? But like how? I guess, okay, we're supposed to use this over here. It's not gonna be fun for any one of us who doesn't particularly like playing Tier Event, because freaking... When anyone doesn't know it, Tier 0 meta is when there's only one good deck in the format. And generally speaking, it's not something great that you want to be dealing with. Okay, we need to kill this guy really quick. Quick. Whew. Okay, it's okay. We're fine. It's okay, I took a little bit of damage, it's tactical. It's fine. Okay. I think we missed the box over there. I hope it wasn't anything important. But, yeah. I don't recall how to get over there. Can we go across this way? No, we can't. Oh, can we go back over here? We cannot. We cannot go back over there. Okay, we just missed the box. Unfortunate, really. And it couldn't have been anything too important. Let's save back at 1. We're not going back to Mount St. Michel. So everything seems to be a-okay. There doesn't seem to be anything here in particular. So we just go into the keep. Ah, well, I mean...
Are you okay? Jacques? Akko?
I guess we should have anticipated this. It happens a lot to Semenosuke.
It won't budge. Let's split up. I'll search outside the mansion.
I mean, we really don't have a
Check the
choice.
inside.
Got it. Until next time.
Alright, here we go. Man, iron bars, trap with a Keech, 120 good, 11 times? Man. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks. Oh no. Yeah, so... Puzzle rooms like this are gonna be we're gonna become very acquainted with these, especially when we come across Onimusha 4. There's a whole section that is just like this. Oh, bruh. Die, child. I'm gonna murder you. I hate these children so much.
Yeah.
Get lost. Okay, and now we go all the way around here to hopefully get into the blue door. Blue door? Where the... Oh, the blue door is all the way out on the... Okay. Okay. So we gotta open blue. Gotta hurry up, open red. Looks like we have a long time to get there. And then we get through here. And I believe we have to make our way... There we go, and we got the firefly so we can get across to the other way. We picked up a book. I don't entirely know what the book is about, but we picked up a book. So read it in a hot minute. Oni Army book. Okay, let's take a look at the files we got. Oh, we got multiple books. Okay, Oni Army book. The magic power hidden in your arms, it can control a legion of troops, the Oni Army, but you will need the Oni Army orb. Man, it's a tongue twister. Oh, that must be the one of the orbs from 2, which lies hidden in this land, waiting for the arrival of the chosen one. In times of peace, the orb stays hidden, but it will arise when it senses Oni aura. It will burst into shards and deactivate the enemies and devastate the enemy before you like a great tsunami. Oni Mansion. We Oni shall make a mansion in this land in order to camouflage ourselves from the Genma. Its appearance will be that of a human edifice, but traps shall be set to protect the magic power hidden deep inside. To he who's gained the magic power, time is like grains of sand slipping through your fingers. Do not hesitate. Let the Oni fireflies lead you to your destiny. And the fortress. Oh, I don't want to read all this. No. This is a Let's Play channel, not a book club. Ay, ay, ay. If you want to read, you're going to have to go to the wiki and read the stuff for yourself, because I got things to do, places to see. Okay, so we need to activate the blue one. This one's not so bad, but the 1 and 2 is relatively unpleasant, or the 1 and 4 is relatively unpleasant to my knowledge. I don't particularly like that one. That is a yellow one. Where is yellow? Is that just... does it just activate all of them? Where the yellow one at? Must be through this door. There's a blue one. Where the frick am I? Oh, right. Okay, I see what needs to happen. The yellow one must be very, I must be able to get through it quickly. What the frick? Calm down, son. Okay. Ouch. Okay, they're just gonna freaking beat each other up if I just stay down. Criminy. Not, Guildenstern's brightest. Oh, what the frick? There's another one. Alright, get lost, brother. Okay, so we just go over here. Yoink, and then we gotta be as fast as possible. It should be relatively fast to do this. We gotta pull the blue one. That brings us to the yellow one. And then there's a safe spot. Dunzo. We need to upgrade Jock's coat and gauntlet. This is not enough to max it out just yet, but it'll be close. I don't think we'll be able to max out Jock's stuff, because Jock, I think it's like significantly less orbs than Semenosuke does. I don't entirely know why that is, but you know, he does. So that's that. There seems to be nothing over here. Strange gap. Jump inside, I might be able to come back. Yeah, sure. Video game logic. Oh, well, I mean... let's use the... Ow. Oh, well... They just disappeared. Oh, I don't actually have enough magic power for that. Okay. I can use the Hoyo-san, both of them. This should kill him. Boom. Dunzo. And that is the Oni Army Orb.
Jacques,
How the frick are you getting here?
the Oni Army Orb? Yes. We are ready. To Azuchi Castle.
Azuchi Castle. That's what it's called. And now is again McClobbering time! Man, this is one of the sickest moments in video game history, to be honest. It's time, Sammy. Sammy, body these fools.
I'll stay here and control the Oni. Go, Jacques! Got it.
Let's frickin' do this. They don't even gotta frickin' walk, they got Heelys on. That's how sick they are. Alright, so this is an area which we could actually farm for red souls if we want. At least for a certain amount. They will disappear, like... They will... The amount of red souls we will get will disappear after a while. But it's a decent enough place. Ow! Unfortunately, we're getting freaking pelted by arrows. Bro, look at this. They're sending their weakest, like, people. But, you know, it's like, these guys are cannon fodder. The Genma don't really care about these guys. Let me check, actually. Okay, so this is a little bit too loud. Let me turn that down just a tad. Just a tad. Awesome. Let's annihilate these geeks. Let's go. Definitely one of my favorite moments for the series history. I'm just freaking slapping these guys up. Man, if only I could do that in the critical hit mode. If only. And my man's getting freaking clobbered. I gotta help him. Alright, let's absorb the souls real quick. I just want to absorb the stuff before it disappears. Let me live my life. Alright, we mostly want to be here just to get as much souls as we can so we can upgrade our stuff. Because, like, this is probably the area where Jacques is able to actually... This is the area where Jacques is able to farm for the souls he needs. So I guess that's why he gets significantly less for other means. Or maybe he doesn't necessarily get less, but like he doesn't have many opportunities to get souls because he gets them here. If I could stop being pelted by arrows, that'd be great. Oil sight is so good in this area. It just frickin' freezes them all, never to be able to clobber them. So good. And then my boys, they just go in and they clean up. I was standing behind cover. I'm standing behind cover, chill out. Let me through! This is friggin'... Tell me this isn't the coolest thing in video game history. Tell me this isn't the coolest thing you've ever seen. We're out here slapping a bunch of friggin' no-name demons with our own personal army. It's epic. This is the coolest thing if you're like friggin'... This is the coolest thing now. Let alone if I'm friggin' 8 years old, or... I wasn't 8 years old when I played this. It was probably like 6 or... Close to 6, actually. So, friggin'... Look at this. It's awesome. If only there were, like, more of the tougher guys so we can, like, actually feel like we're slapping people. But I guess, you know, they're not gonna send their best guys. They're just there to keep us... All the best guys are inside. These are the people that hold us off until we can't get in. Ow. Very annoying that they keep pelting us with arrows, though. Not a fan. Ay, ay, ay. We're also going to be able to max out on the red soul count we get, because we're using the... We are using the yellow vest to get as much souls as possible, so it's good for the farming. The only unfortunate thing is that we can't use the purple vest to mitigate our magic use. But I mean, we don't entirely need to mitigate the magic use because, like, this is like perfectly designed. This is just wish fulfillment. This whole area is just be like, you have all your strong weapons. It's time to just freaking go ham on these small fries and absolutely let loose. This is the part of the game where you feel like you're at your strongest, and they knew it. God, it's just dawning on me that's how close we are to not just completing Onimusha 3, but to going through the entire Onimusha series. Like, ow. Me playing through these games has been almost 10 years in the making. So, like, it's kind of surreal to see us coming to an end so fast. Like, the end of this game is approaching, and we got one more game after that. 4, which is arguably the... I mean, 3 is arguably the end of the trilogy, which, you know, it is. It's the canonic end of this saga. And then 4 is kind of a soft reboot. Which, unfortunately, like, wasn't popular enough to go anywhere. But I feel like, friggin'... We need to give this franchise another chance. It's so cool. It's just like its premise says. Friggin' Resident Evil, but with samurais instead of friggin' military zombie guys. With how popular Resident Evil has gotten, especially with, like, the 4 remake, it's just... This game's just... This whole series is begging for a remake from Capcom. Like, not a remaster, which we got for Warlords. That was cool. It's nice to have, an easily accessible way to play these games. But, like, can we get a full-on remake that does these games from scratch? I guess we could do that after we get some remakes for the originals, maybe. I'm actually gonna frickin' lose it if they announce that we're gonna... If they announce we're getting some HD remakes for the last 3 games. I'll play through these games again. I'm already gonna play through Warlords again. Probably stream it so it's like less than 20 episodes long. But I'm definitely gonna play through Warlords again because the last time I played it was like the original PS4, the PS2 version. So we'll probably end up playing the PC version of the game. Ouch. Like, we have just about 11 whole, red souls for the leveling. And can we get 12? I wonder how many we can get here. Because this probably isn't going to be enough to max us out, but it'll be close. We're definitely close to maxing out here. Oh, crit. Nice. I guess the reason why they give us all these small fries is because they're easy to clear through and they drop a bunch of, like, souls that'll keep us alive. It'd probably be chaos if there were, like, a bunch of these small fries and some big dudes, but I guess 1 or 2 big guys sprinkled out here and there would be sufficient. We have our whole army with this, so... wouldn't be too bad. Speaking of remakes, I have the entirety, I've already purchased, like, Bayonetta. I have, like, the entire Capcom, not the entire Capcom, but a lot of the popular games for Capcom. I want to eventually get through, I don't know when I'll get around to doing it, but I want to get through playing Mega Man on the channel, because I've actually already completed Mega Man 1. I played it through for myself, and I got through some of Mega Man 2. I never realized it up until now, but I really just was raised on Capcom games. Like, Onimusha, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, those were all the games I played. God, there are so many games, like, not just Onimusha, but samurai games for the PS2, and later the PlayStation 3 in general, that I want to play through. Like, I want to do a Dark Souls 1 playthrough and eventually get through all the Dark Souls games. I should do it by being a samurai. I never did that before. Oh, I got the flex critical him. I should go through only Dark Souls and do a dexterity build where I can be a samurai. That'd be fun and also excruciatingly painful. I gotta look up a tutorial on how to do that. Because I don't know if I want to hop directly into 4 when I complete 3. Or if I want to do something different. Because I want to beat 3. It's kind of also why I've held off on doing Shovel Knight King of Cars, because I just want to get through... I want to get through Onimusha 3. And I don't want to have to split my attention between it, but I will get back to doing it. Because I do think it's nice to have multiple series running at a time. And if I find myself in a position to do so, I will, like, upload multiple times a day, because so far we're pretty much uploading, at this rate, Monday through Thursday at, like, 2. So that's what the upload schedules look like. But, so far, I do want to get back to uploading twice a day. And I believe I'm at that point, probably sometime over the summer when my semester is over. We'll have more free time to do that. Because we are approaching the end of the semester. Like, at the beginning of May is when the semester ends, and it's like... we're not necessarily halfway through April, but, like... at the time of recording, it's the 9th. This episode should go live on the... 10th. And, yeah, so by the time you're hearing this, we're pretty much almost halfway through May. So we're halfway through we're almost halfway there to the end of the semester. And then I'll have more times to play video games. Because usually I would take a summer course. Like, I haven't not... Like, I always take some... Oh, gotta pause. Whoops, I had my mic muted at that moment, and now the video is... I'm watching this through the OBS capture. There we go. Alright. As I was saying for the, like, summer semester, ever since I started college in, like, 2019, I've pretty much always taken at least one summer course. Except for, like, 2020, I decided to take a break because, you know, 2020 was already a lot. So it was nice to take a break for the summer. It's usually just to get through the school year faster so I can get through my degree. But, like, this time, the courses they're offering, they just don't offer the... Because I'm going for my bachelor's this time. I mentioned it before, but I'm going for my bachelor's in immersive tech. So VR and whatnot. And, the courses that they're offering, they're not offering them in the summer. So I can't really take courses they don't offer. They are technically offering one. It's an online course, and it's a programming course that they're only offering online, and it's not what the teacher I want. The teacher I want only teaches during the spring and winter semester. So I'll just be waiting until the winter semester to take my to take those courses. And this will put me, not necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily say behind, but this means I won't be graduating this year, but rather the beginning, I won't be graduating at the end of this year, but rather the beginning of next year. So, you know, not terrible. There's merit in taking it slow. You know? We cannot rush through life, which is unfortunately something I tend to do. I spend a lot of my time thinking about getting from point A to point B. Which sometimes you just have to... It's a good to have an objective, focused mindset. But life isn't about objectives, you know. Life is about the experience. Very nice mentality that I think people have been taking as the concept of anti-work gets more and more popular. Is that we're just not made... Human beings are not made to work, per se. Our lives are not dictated... Ooh, sick! Our lives are not defined by the amount of work we do. We work to live. We do not live to work. That is the mindset that people have been taking more so in earnest, especially as people have been not necessarily starting to realize but becoming more aggressive about the fact that employers don't particularly care about the people they employ. They treat employees as dang near expendable. So why put all your effort to care about a company you don't ever care about you? So it's good to take things slow when you can. That's unfortunately not an option for many people. Unfortunately, living in the capitalist hellscape we call America, where homelessness is at an all-time high, and whilst we have the tools to solve that problem, we simply just aren't. So many of us do not have the, dare I say, privilege of being able to work to live and not live to work. But we gotta take pleasures where we can, you know? Little things. Which is why I make these videos, not just because I enjoy making them. Really neat hobby of mine that I enjoy doing. But if anyone just gets an enjoyment out of listening to me ramble whilst I play a video game, you know, That's good by me. I oftentimes listen to Let's Play channels and whatnot, like the Game Grumps, when I'm on the bus to school and back. It's a just about an hour bus ride there and back, so gotta have something to listen to while you're spending about 2 hours in transit. It's just generally nice, you know? I've also... Let's Plays are also just nice in general, because you get to experience games where you otherwise would not play. Like, I don't think I'll ever play Undertale, unless... I might end up playing Undertale, because I have, a friend or two who might be interested in watching me play Undertale. I've never particularly been interested in the RPG sort of thing. And I don't have the patience to play multiple playthroughs of Undertale. I know a lot of the juicy stuff happens when you do the neutral or genocide routes, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to kill anyone. I just do a pacifist route and call it that. Like, if you want me to play a game multiple times, I have to really like the game. Like, I'm already thinking about doing a playthrough of Onimusha 2 again, because there are multiple routes you could take. And I normally wouldn't consider doing that for games, but it's just that I like Onimusha 2 so much that I want to do that. I wouldn't mind experiencing the characters again, and there's, like, I just was thinking about all the characters in 2. Like, you know, Eke, Magoichi, Kataro, Oyu, and Jubei, those guys. And freaking Golgan Dantis, the greatest swordman of all demons. Really awesome characters, just heroes and villains in general. And like, I'm a little disappointed in my playthrough of the game, because one, it's old, it's a little dated, despite the fact that, like, there are some things going on in my life back then, specifically me graduating from high school, and me being dang near homeless at the time. Very fun situation to be in. Won't get into that. But, and it required me to take a hiatus from, uploading videos, and thus, there's a large gap in between me uploading videos and when the episodes get released. But not only that, but I went for a very optimal route for 2. And because of that, because I went for the route where, like, okay, I want to be able to play as every character in this playthrough, which I believe I did. I can't remember if I had to skip out on getting Eke, because playing as Eke in that route is a little difficult. It requires you to, like, sort of min-max the... It requires you to min-max the gift-giving system in order to max out the friendship between all of the different characters. But, there's a lot of story beats you don't end up catching out on, because the route you take usually heavily favors Magoichi. Because if you're friends with Magoichi, you usually play as Eke, and playing as Oyu is mandatory. So all you have to do is, like, befriend Magoichi a lot, and to an extent Eke, and kind of befriend Kataro, and you'll play as all the characters while following Magoichi's storyline. And in doing so, you don't get to, like, max out all other characters' storyline. And I specifically didn't play through... Like, I have not played through Kataro's storyline in a long time, because it's just freaking sad. Like, man, Kataro is my favorite character. Like, Magoichi's awesome, but I love Kataro, but his storyline is so sad, and it's like, man, I don't want to get hit in the feels. Plus, going through Megawichi is just like the thing to do. Like, it's just like you play it, you go through Megawichi's storyline, and it's just like, okay, why would I want to do anything else? I get all the cool items by doing this, so, you know. I gotta play through that game again. I also need to, like, just get in the habit of playing more games for fun. Because I don't really do that. Like, I do that, but it's mostly because I have a comfort game, which you're gonna cringe when I say it, but my comfort game is League of Legends. That is just like, I know you might think it's cringe, but like, how would you take comfort in a game like League of Legends? But it's just, it's the game I pick up and play when I just want to sit down and have a nice, like, chill time when I'm not playing ranked specifically, because I'm not, like, you know, it's obnoxious to get through ranked and be like, well, we lost that game due to shenanigans that were beyond my control. Not the greatest thing you truly want to be saying about a competitive game. But, you know. But when I'm just having a chill time, I'm not going for, like, mastery tokens or anything. I just like playing League of Legends and having a gay old time. The other comfort game I probably have is, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I only, like, really cycle through those two games. So when I'm not playing, like, League of Legends, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm playing League of Legends. And then whatever games I tend to, like, play with my mutual friends group at the time. But in terms of games I just pick up and play out of my own volition. Don't know a whole lot. I feel like that's a shame, because I miss out on a lot of experiences. Because I get stuck in the mentality of, like, if I'm going to play through a game, I gotta record it. Because, like, I bought Resident Evil 4 VR. And I like, man, I should play Resident Evil 4 VR, really experience the fun of VR, but it's like, well, what if I made a video about it? What if I made a video about me playing Resident Evil VR? In order to do that, that would require me to do some shenanigans with the VR headset. And, like, I still haven't quite figured it out. But I should figure out how to do that and record me playing Resident Evil VR, because it'd be a lot of fun. And I still have to do Resident Evil. Like, so far I'm just like, so many different playthroughs of the original Resident Evil exist. But I want to do another one for the PC port I have, just play through it regularly. And I want to do friggin', I want to do Resident Evil, the remake. And I want to do VR, and I want to go through the whole thing. So it'll probably happen. Because Let's Plays are time consuming. Like, we're at 43 minutes of just making one episode of this, because I've been talking and farming and whatnot. And I think I have enough red souls, but I've just kind of been rambling, and I don't want to stop my train of thought. This is the most I've been able to talk during and recording. It's just because I'm mindlessly slaughtering these goons. It's just so cathartic, you know? Plus, we're also, like, 43 minutes into this episode, so, like, I can say anything. I could be all frickin' deep and vulnerable and whatnot, and nobody's, like, watching past this. Except for you, dear viewer, who's watching this. So, you know, it's just nice. We're deep into the video, only the real ones are here. Let's have a nice time. Speaking of being deep and vulnerable, might be on the spectrum. Might have autism, might be have ADHD or ADD. Not entirely sure the difference between those two. That's a big might. Just a suspicion I've been having for the past 2 years or so. Oh my god. He fell. Oh no. Because, like, friggin'... I wouldn't even know how to describe it. Because it's like... It's just something you experience, and it's not easy to describe the experience, you know? I think it's friggin'... Like... I don't even want to say the symptoms of whatnot, not because it's particularly taboo or anything, but it just feels friggin' wrong. Like... People... Like, one of the obvious symptoms of frickin' ADHD and or autism, which... They might eventually be one and the same diagnosis. But one of the symptoms is stimming. I definitely do that. I've done that for over 10 years at this point. And I've only recently discovered there was a name for what that is. The frickin' rocking of your legs, which as I started thinking about it, I just started doing the rocking of the legs thing. As I was thinking about it, it just friggin' comes as second nature. Another big stim of mine is like friggin', and those who don't know stimming, it's like friggin', I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a way of regulating, I guess a way of regulating emotions or whatnot that not exclusive to people on the spectrum. Like, it's definitely possible to things you might do. But, like, it's just regulating emotion or hyperactiveness or whatnot through constantly moving your body or, like, through a repeated movement of a body part of whatnot. So it can be, like, rocking your legs is a very common one. And, for me, because it depends when I'm sitting or standing, like, you can't rock your legs when you're sitting or standing. Or when you're standing, rather. You can definitely do it while you're sitting. But for me, it's, for me when I'm standing or just sitting idle or whatnot, I'll just kind of, I guess the best way to describe it is wiggle your fingers. I'm not necessarily wiggling them. Because I'm emulating, at least as I started doing it, I'm emulating what it's like to play a piano or a keyboard. And I specifically started doing this around 2015. The summer of 2015, where, you know, that's at least the earliest I can remember doing it. And, like, I really liked piano music, and during that time I was really into listening to Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2, classical music, though I don't necessarily know if it's classical, because of the time period, there's, like, Baroque, classical, and, you know, whatnot. But I got particularly into listening to classical music as a genre. And I really liked piano. And I just was like, emulating what it's like to press a piano keys just feels natural. It feels good. So, yeah. I just started doing that since around 2015 and haven't stopped. That's just, like, one thing that puts you... Like, if it were just that, I wouldn't even bother thinking about it, because it's like, well, friggin', that might just be a thing, because that just people do. Like, that doesn't even necessarily beat autism. Because, friggin', ADHD is very common. Much more common than a lot of people think. But, like, no, I'd say autism is probably a lot more common than people would think. But there's a reason why it's called being neurodivergent and not neurotypical, because it is just stray away from the norm of what people typically think of, like, normal, like, behavior. Because even the idea of what isn't normal is subjective. But, it's really come to light recently, because this current college semester is the most I've been involved with interacting with people in real life, I guess we call it. Don't entirely like the in real life term, because it's just like, well, you know, interact with people online is still real life. It's not fake. Like, this is not a simulation. Even in a simulation, it'll still be real. But, you know, not online. As I've taken more classes in person, I'm getting more involved in clubs and whatnot, which is a whole thing. Can't remember if I talked about it. But, basically, at the end of graduation, I had a bit of an epiphany. Because I heard that one of my former classmates had, you know, they had ended up becoming the president of the club that they told me in passing, like, years ago. And, I didn't join the club then, because, I was a friggin' nervous Nancy and didn't like talking to people. But upon, like, hearing from a mutual classmate that I only ended up meeting halfway down the line during, like, the end of my semester of, like, graduating from my AS, that another classmate was in the club. It's a tech club, and they had become the president. The former classmate, had ended up becoming the president. I had a bit of an epiphany because I was like, man, I am about to graduate college and I didn't do anything. I experienced nothing. And I don't know if you've ever heard the AJR song Next Up Forever, but there's a freaking line that hits so hard, it's just like, I'm kind of scared of graduation, because who am I when this is done? It's like, so true, bestie. Wow, now that's relatable, you know? And friggin', it's just like, you don't do a whole lot. I mostly stay inside, I don't interact with people. In recent years, I've kind of been sticking to myself. And you just kind of fall in and out of being a part of your own friends groups and whatnot. So it's just like, I just don't feel like I'm made to interact with people, you know? You're always an outlier. Never a part of the group. I wouldn't say never a part of the group, but you always feel friggin' like an outcast. Is that it? No, okay, there's still guys. You're like an outcast of your friends group, the outcasted pretty much everything. It was just like, man, where does one go to not feel like an outcast? Not like friggin' loser who's destined to always be alone. The answer may shock you. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that. That's why I'm trying. I'm trying to find the answer. That's just one of the friggin' things that's probably pretty much the main thing, because I've always been terrible at interacting with people. And I've always just thought, well, you're just friggin' socially anxious and whatnot, but I feel like I've gotten over that a lot. I feel like it's more than that. I feel like it's at the point where just like, you know what, there's more to this than meets the eye. And there's like other stuff, like just not social interact with people, but just like other things about textures and whatnot that it's like I don't like them. Like, I've never liked fruits, specifically fruits, because they're all freaking mushy and gross. And it's mostly just a texture thing, not the taste. And, like, apparently that's something that people on the spectrum relate to. It's like friggin'... It's like, yeah, of course I don't want to eat friggin' like, I have a very specific memory in mind a long time ago when I was a wee lad. I was given a bag of cherries to eat. And I was eating the bag of cherries like friggin', it was like playing Russian roulette of which ones were friggin' mushy and gross and really sour and which ones were nice and sweet. And for some reason, the inconsistency of fruit is just friggin' terrible. Like, sometimes it'll be like a nice experience, and be like, okay, this tastes good, and the juices aren't getting everywhere, it's not mushy, it's very nice and palatable. There are times just like, bruh, this is the worst. This is cringe. I'm adding this to my cringe compilation right the frick now. And it's like, and I specifically saw that in a meme on the Aspie meme subreddit. It was just like, you know what frickin' is consistent every single time? A Dorito. I don't have to play Russian roulette with Doritos and be like, oh yes, this Dorito isn't gonna taste good or not. The only variance in taste for a Dorito is just like, will it have the extra, this freaking sauce on it or not? In which case, that's a treat, not a freaking detriment to Doritos. So, that's another point in the probably autism corner. And just a bunch of things that come together to be like, on their own, they wouldn't be cause for alarm. But together, it's just like, something's up. Something's not right here. Something is afoot. And like, going back to textures and whatnot, like, I can't stand metal on metal. Like, I can't use metal silverware anymore. At least I try not to, because I wince just thinking about having the texture on my teeth. And I hate using metal spatulas to cook things with. So I'll just opt into using plastic if I can. Because it isn't great together. I friggin' hate it. And don't even get me started on things like masking and mirroring and whatnot. That's just a whole other thing. And it's friggin' wild. Because I look back, and I don't know if the video is still up on the channel. Probably is. But there's a distinct video where I kind of got a little too freaking deep and vulnerable TM. And I think a former friend of mine, I don't want to say former friend, we haven't talked in like ages, but I like to still consider us friends. It's just that I might be autistic. I'm just like, no, I can't be autistic. It's like friggin' the ultimate autism spectrum origin story, like friggin' exhibits obvious autistic behavior. It's just like friggin', nah, I can't be it. It's like friggin' how a lot of like trans people come out and be like, exhibits very obvious transgender behavior, just like still cis though, you know, as the meme goes. That's right, I've been to Egg IRL. I watch one topic at a time. I'm cool and hip and trendy. The trans people, they love me. They call me Game Master 1000, the greatest ally of all time. Greatest ally and definitely not trans themselves, TM. And you put in the comment section being like, okay, remind me in 1 year, and then friggin' see what happens. It's like the best gamble of all time. You want to have a nice comedy gamble? Say you're not trans, then it's like 7,000 frickin' trans people will show up in the comments and can be like, remind me in 1 year, then I'll see what happens. Willing it into existence. Talk about manifesting. If manifesting isn't real, then explain trans people. Checkmate, liberal. But now we're just rambling about, like, non-sequiturs and whatnot. We have, like, 54 red souls. We don't need to be here anymore. We have, like, enough. There's no way in hell that don't have enough to upgrade all of our stuff. I've just been sitting here rambling and whatnot. We've been here an hour. Alright, let's bone. Let's... I mean, I don't think that means what I think it means. But it sounds right. Like, I feel like let's bone means friggin' let's get out of here. I feel like that's a saying that people say, and not referring to the big sex, but friggin' that doesn't sound quite right. Feels definitely like something that you would say to feel like, let's, like, friggin' beat feet. Let's get out of here. Let's make like I'm again split. Let's friggin' let's beat it. Which also can be an innuendo, exactly like let's bone. Very weird. We've been through a lot of topics this episode. I do not need to fight these people anymore. In fact, as long as I'm on Jacques, I just straight up don't need to bring out the yellow vest anymore. I can just use purple all the way. Alright, we're an hour in. Let's get to the save spot. Let's get to the save spot and then upgrade our stuff. Because we sure as heck have enough. I swore at some point that would, like, that section would end and they just stopped spawning guys, but I guess it didn't. I guess it didn't stop spawning guys. How do we get over there? Oh, there we go. Is there a treasure over here? There is not treasure over here. It looks like there'd be something... something's amiss in this area, but, you know. Okay, friggin' it hit the guy. There we go. And I get up here, and I beat these guys, and they missed. Got some medicine. Poggers. Okay, can we get to a save spot now? Cutscene? Okay.
Jacques. Already mopped up that army?
We had an army up below. How are things here?
Huh. Aside from the few pests I just took care of, no problems. Where is Samanosuke?
Controlling the Oni army.
Ah, I see. Well, castle's never been quieter.
I love Inachi. Oh, it's Ranmaru.
Still playing rebellious games, are we?
You bet! I will have Nobunaga's head on this spear!
Well, aren't we feisty? Frankly, I'd like to see you try.
We will get there.
Stop, Ranmaru! Jacques, you go ahead to Nobunaga. This elevator will take you right to it.
He ain't here. Alright, there's no way Nobunaga's here. Nice decor. Fortress 2. Is it really long? This episode's already an hour. I can't be freaking wasting my time on a book club. Oh! I ain't reading this. And with that, we have 55 souls. This is definitely enough. We did not need to go that hard with collecting the red souls. I wish there's a way we can transport these to Samanosuke. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, this pretty much... We have this. We have collected a metric butt ton of souls. We do not need any more red ones. There's nothing more to do with these. Just like that, all of Jacques' stuff is completely maxed out. We had fun today. We had a nice time. We talked about some nice and vulnerable and deep things, TM. Welcome to the podcast episode of the thing. This episode of Onimusha 4. Look how sick I am with this drip. Okay, and that's all she wrote. Until next time, I'm Game Master 1000. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of these videos, you can like and subscribe. Be able to give them up today. And peace out. Bye-bye.